I don't mind who plays James Bond as long as it is me.
It's not going to be you. You said Jacob Elordi. I don't even know who that is, but it's likely that he's going to be James Bond over Riz Ahmed.
Well, Riz, what inspired Bait?
I'd been kind of keeping little notes of all the contradictions that make up my life. You know, the distance between your public and private self, all the ways in which almost life feels like it's taking place in different genres, and how messy and funny that is for about 10 years. And I just always wanted to tell a story that was personal and that explored that. And really, I guess what inspired it is that, you know, sometimes, and I think this is true for me as an actor, but it's true for all of us, life sometimes feels like one big audition, you know? We're all trying to prove ourselves online, chasing the validation of strangers, looking for approval. And so I wanted to make a show kind of that explores that.
How much did you draw on your own life as an actor when you were writing the script?
There's definitely a lot of me in this character, Shah, but I think there's also a lot of Shah in everyone. As I said, because I think, you know, Shah is a character who's looking for love in all the wrong places. And I think that's kind of like what we're all doing these days, you know? Just kind of living our lives online, trying to be as desirable as possible, looking for that approval, looking for that validation. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of elements in there that are kind of, you know, we've shot in locations where I've grown up. We shot in my hometown. There's scenes in there that are literally took place in my own life. But there's also so much there that people like Gus brought to the table, and our directors and our incredible showrunner and writer's room. So there's a seed of truth, but it's not like a Dear Diary kind of thing. It really kind of goes into its own space and becomes something quite unique and trippy and different.
Guys, what appealed to you about this project? You guys have great chemistry in it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's been long overdue, and me and Riz have known each other for a long time now, but finding the right project is always a tricky thing. And I feel like seeing Riz's journey within the context of this industry is so interesting to me. Like, there's very few people from our backgrounds back in the UK who've had the privilege to do what we do. And I think Riz has really executed the fact that acting is a crazy thing to chase. The life of an actor is one of the most stressful, chaotic things. It's not like stand-up. With stand-up, you grab a microphone, you prepare material, you deliver your art. With acting, you have to wait for a casting director to take a liking of you, for a director to be like, okay, I can see that person in my project. There's so many hoops to jump through. And watching the show, especially the premiere yesterday, I think it's a really accurate portrayal of anybody within the arts trying to get their thing off the ground. Like, the immense pressure that's involved with it. So yeah, I think people who really involved that, like, really love that people behind the curtain for sure.
Did you draw on the fact that you had known each other for so long to really come in with a real established rapport?
Yeah, you know, that's the one thing that was easy. Like, there's so much when you're making a new show that you have to worry about and be concerned about. But like, our chemistry and the vibes and the energy, that was never going to be a problem. It's just trying to find, you know, the push and pull, and that's such an important part of comedic performance. It's like knowing when to push, when to pull, giving each other space to breathe. And it was really fun. You know, sometimes it's a little bit more arduous, especially if there's not vibes. You still got to get on and make a comedy, but we're lucky we had vibes on this, so it's good.
Riz, obviously the conceit of the show is that you audition for James Bond. Have you ever been approached to audition for James Bond? What kind of made you think about that as a structure for the series?
Well, I thought you can't be subtle about these things. If you want to play James Bond, you've got to make a comedy TV show about you auditioning to play James Bond at Amazon itself. So I'm really hoping that some of the people in the room could take some notice here. That's really, really what this is, you know, this is what it's about for me.
Have you had any thought? I mean, obviously now they are recasting Bond. Is there anybody that you would like to see play that role if you yourself, if your audition, as it were, is unsuccessful?
How dare you suggest that my audition would be unsuccessful? Everyone has, I'm going to leave right now. Everyone has an audition for Bond, and it's usually a project, right? Like I said, Daniel Craig was Layer Cake. Idris Elba was Cats, I think. And I think for
Idris
me,
is going to punch you in the head when he sees you.
he's
I'm
my
going to
mate.
put that out there. Idris is going to elbow him in the head. Idris, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Big up Idris
It's all
Elba
love.
and big up Cats.
By the way, I love Idris. Idris kind of changed my life in many ways as a friend. And so this is mine. I dare anyone to watch this show and not think that we shouldn't play Bond as a double act. I think the one thing they haven't considered is splitting the character of Bond into two. One side of Bond that is kind of the, more kind of meathead, aggressive, kind of violent brute, and the other guy who's like crafty and suave and very intelligent.
There's always a big debate about whether Bond needs to be played by a Brit. Do you have any thoughts on that? I see that Jacob Elordi, for example, they just started a conversation around that.
I don't mind who plays James Bond as long as it is me.
You know, the more interviews we do, the more I'm convinced it's absolutely not going to be you, Riz. It's not going to be you. You said Jacob Elordi. I don't even know who that is, but it's likely that he's going to be James Bond over Riz Ahmed.
What is,
You want me back?
please come back.
Do you know what? This is the outrage. This is the second interview I've had to walk out of today. Second time.
What was being able to work with Amazon, was that helpful when it came to sort of that part of things as well?
No, not at all. No. It was no. The way that happened is, came up with the idea. Everyone said it's not going to be possible at all. This is when Barbara Broccoli was still very, very kind of day-to-day controlling and running the thing. And it was because I showed her the scripts. I told her exactly what we're trying to do with the show. And to be honest, the show is not about James Bond. I mean, we're having a bit of banter and it's fun and it's a headline. The show's, it's just not about that, really. James Bond in our show is a symbol of everything Shah wants to be, because he's the ultimate in decisiveness, desirability, cinematic achievement, the ultimate alpha male. So it's really just what my character Shah wishes he was. He just wants to be someone else, like so many of us do. That's the relatable part of it. And I think Barbara Broccoli saw that. She saw that Bond was really a symbol and a jumping off point to explore the theme of self-love and self-esteem, really. That's kind of what the show is about. And Barbara saw that, and so she gave it her blessing, so we're grateful.
One thing I really loved about the show is that it's so many different tones and so many different genres. And I wonder what the challenges were of kind of performing that and writing that too.
Yeah, it was challenging in a way that we were like, is this going to work? How do we thread this thriller element with this comedy element? It's a family, dimension to the show is huge. We play cousins in it. There's this kind of the auditioning industry side. There's a lot going on. And ultimately what we realize is that, sometimes life feels like it's taking place in different genres. I'm sat there giving an interview and it's a drama. It's a, intense adult drama in that moment. I get up and like trip over and it's like a slapstick comedy, the next moment. And so we just thought we'd just be honest about it. Life is a mess. It takes place in different genres. Why shouldn't our show? So there was something daunting about it, but also very liberating.
This studio is being sponsored by Audible. And I wonder, what's a recent podcast or audiobook that you've listened to that you've enjoyed?
What have you been listening to?
What about you? Do you listen to podcasts?
I do, occasionally on long drives.
Listen to?
I think some of the stuff I listen to on podcasts is not legal, so I probably shouldn't really talk about it. Do you know what I mean? It's underground stuff,
Those
bro.
illegal podcasts.
Yeah, them illegal
those dark
podcasts,
web ones.
Them dark web ones, bro. Yeah, they're kind of crazy. No, what have you been listening to?
My New Year's resolution, brush up on my languages.
Oh, you were trying to learn languages?
Well, no, I'd speak Urdu and French, but I want to brush up on them. So I've been listening to just French news podcasts, and then also there's this Urdu poetry one called Urdu Nama, and it teaches you like the really kind of Urdu poetry vocab and stuff like that. Yeah, man.
Any podcast that's got conspiracy theories in it, I'm there. Love a conspiracy theory. What's your favorite conspiracy theory stuff?
Yeah, what kind of conspiracies do you
Yeah,
believe
what you
in?
want, bro?
Moon landing, I think.
It's not real.
Same here.
I don't believe that shit
He doesn't
either.
believe in the moon landing
Fake.
at all. Fake.
Faker than the snow in this room.
Yeah. A lot of props were recycled from
My
that moon
God,
landing.
moon landed my asshole. It's not real.
Well, thank you both so much and congratulations on the show.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well,